Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy
Valentine's
Day!
Day.
Yay!
Yay. We're here to do our YouTube self-love and express love. So let's introduce ourselves.
Me first. My name is Setsu. I'm a owner and the CEO of Oneness in Love Inc. Thank you for being here. I'm so excited and I'm happy to be with you. And let's love ourselves and love self and express love. And we learn, we chat, we talk, we discuss together, and our love is gonna be more happier and bigger and perfect. Thank you.
Hi, my name
Next,
is Jasani, and I am a self-love, self-confident coach. I also have a podcast called Keen to Be Seen. You also can find me that on TikTok, on Instagram. It's Keen TOB Seen. Happy to be here.
yay,
Thank
Asia.
you.
Hi guys, I'm Asia. I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait to talk about love and you guys' opinions about it in your everyday life.
Hi everyone. I'm
Yay.
Ayako. I'm from Oneness in Love Inc. I'm excited to be here to learn how to love ourselves. So let's have fun.
Yay.
And I'm Now from Oneness in Love Inc. And I'm also excited to be here and learn about self-love. I recently, had a hard realization about my self-love that I maybe didn't love myself enough. And so I'm excited to learn more from you guys. And I hope we can deliver self-love and how to self-love and express love to everyone who's viewing this YouTube. All right.
Yay.
Yay. All right. So what are we gonna talk about? What can we start with?
I do like to talk about first why we wanted to do this. I wanted to do this because Valentine's Day we express our love to our loved ones. But first, we should love ourselves. We should accept ourselves, and we should take care of ourselves really, really well. Then we can express love to others. And so we will learn together to love ourselves more and happier way and a healthier way. Then we can express our love to the world and to the one whom we really want to express our love. That's why we are here. And we will welcome you guys. You're gonna put some opinions to our the YouTube comment place. And we love you from this moment. We love this moment. Thank you so much. Yes.
Mm.
And here is the expert, self-love. Jasani, when you really started to work for yourself to love yourself?
I think it was a recognition that I operate a little differently from everyone else. So when I was younger, everyone was trying to find like the job or what they're supposed to be doing. And for me, I always felt like, even from a young age, like I want to master myself before I master life. So I felt like through mastering myself and understanding myself and accepting myself, um, I will be able to conquer anything and make anything happen. So that happened high schoolish, college kind of exploration. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
When I met you, Jasani, we were friends for years, so many years
Mhm.
already. And when I met him, Jasani was really, really working for himself to accept himself or to explore himself, to be, like to be free from
Mhm.
everyone, to be free from world and to be like a real himself. So I think that's the right way. We should use our time to accept ourselves and to face to yourself. And it's hard to face ourselves. And I always said that maybe we don't know ourselves, but we know or we believe we know others, but we don't know ourselves. So to know ourselves, we have to face ourselves, good way and bad way, good sides, bad sides, angel side and the evil side, the evil side. We have to accept it, and we cannot give up to grow up or to love ourselves. And Jasanya was working for it seriously. If I go to his house, his apartment, his room, always he put the notes, a lot of notes. Kitchen, living room, and the bathroom. There are so many notes and the words, the beautiful words. And I sometimes I believe he's fighting himself. And so, there is a pain. That's why he was working. There is a pain. That's why we are here. And every day, somewhere, somebody is in the pain. But love is the real thing. And we are the love, whatever you believe. And even if you can accept it, we are the love by ourselves. And we don't need to be somebody else because you are the love. And that we have to accept first, I believe.
Yeah.
And I hope you can accept that you are the love. And you're loved by the so many things you can call, whatever you want to call, universe, angels, and the guardian angels, the ancestors, and your parents, your friends, or your dogs, and the cats, and the birds, and the nature, flowers, and the trees. Everybody, everything love you. That's why you are alive here. I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I used to be afraid actually of Valentine's Day for a very long time because I took in the concept that in order for me to feel love, I need to have someone in front of me, like on Valentine's Day saying, I love you. And if it wasn't that, then where was I getting it from? And so I did learn about, because we always learn from like movies on someone's coming on a white horse to save you. And I feel like a lot of us really look for someone to validate us and make us feel worthy. And I think one of the biggest moments that helped me towards self-love and getting to this place was understanding that part, that no one's coming. Like, honestly, no one's coming to give you everything you ever wanted and make you feel special and tell you all the things your parents never told you and tell you you're amazing and everything. That person you're looking for, that imaginary person to make us feel better, have all confidence. That's why I think people get so invested into relationships. Had to accept that that person was actually me, that there was no one outside of me that was going to come and give me every single thing I wanted in life. And and even if they did, even if, let's say, someone comes on a white horse and it's like, Sonny, you're perfect in every way and I love everything about you. If I don't believe it, if I don't see it for myself, I'm not accepting you say that. I'm like, he's lying. Or this person's lying. They're not really saying that. And so that no matter how much someone tries to give you love, if you have no acceptance, no love, no appreciation of yourself, it's really hard to take it for someone else. You don't believe them because you never believed it about yourself. So that was a huge transition, which I want to hear about you guys. Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
That's something I learned recently. Yeah, recently. I'm like so grown up. But I think I thought I was like, good at loving myself. I love myself and all that. But like, I was still seeking outside validation so much, and I didn't realize that until now. And and that was the hardest thing to unveil it, because now you have to face yourself, like you said, that I think that's like the constant battle with myself. I'm not sure for all of you guys, I'm not saying that, but for me, it's a constant battle every single day because your emotions go, haywire. It goes everywhere. So, but you still have to come back to yourself and center myself and to tell myself that I love myself. And also in the midst of it, I learned that if I want that loving partner that I desire for, that I wish for, that perfect someone, I have
Yeah.
to become one first. I have to, if I want someone loving, I gotta love myself, like I think that was something that I lack for sure, but now I know, and I can look forward to once I love myself and I become complete with myself, so I don't seek what's lacking from others, to fulfill. So I totally agree with you, Jasani.
That's beautifully said. Yeah. I actually want to play a little game with you guys because what I learned when it comes to loving yourself, I think love yourself is so broad. And when people used to tell me all the time to love myself, I never knew what that meant. They were like, what? How do I love myself? Like, where do I go? Where do I start? So I want everyone to put up 10 fingers and put down a finger if you agree with this for yourself. Like, because I believe loving yourself has parts and pieces. So first one is, do you appreciate yourself? So do you appreciate like the things you do? Do you appreciate the person you are? Do you see yourself and say, I'm really glad I am this way, the way I am. Like I appreciate the way I operate and see life. Put your finger down if you appreciate yourself. Put your finger down if you validate yourself. If you're the first person in your corner to tell yourself, you did good job. You did good when you did that, or when you stood up for yourself and set a boundary. Good job. Put a finger down if you validate yourself. Put a finger down if you congratulate yourself. You're the first person, if you go in the mirror and you're like, good job, or you celebrate the small victories and you see like all the little things you do and celebrate yourself with the small victories. Put your finger down if you, think of another one. If you give yourself grace, I feel like that's a part of loving yourself. If you're the person that says, it's okay today you don't feel 100. It's okay today if you don't want to work, or if you don't want to go outside. It's okay today if you don't want to see anyone. If you're the person who gives yourself that grace and that love to be like, it's okay, you're not perfect. Put a finger down. I do usually do that, yeah. Put a finger down if you accept yourself. So for instance, for me, I am not super masculine hustler, go get everything, get money. And I feel like society is really big on like, get that money, forget feelings, only flights, catch flights, not feelings. If you're a person who accepts that you're not like everyone else, you operate differently, you think differently, you love differently, and you approach things differently than everybody else, put your finger down to accept yourself. And you see, that's only like 5 out of like a whole bunch of elements and pieces on loving yourself. Because I think it's more than loving yourself. Because it's hard to, for instance, put your finger down if you are a person who always stands up for your beliefs and what you want. Like you're the person that has no issue of saying, I'm uncomfortable, I don't like that you did that. Please apologize. Or I was a person who verbally. See, there's so many pieces. And there's another piece. People tell me sometimes you don't care what people think. That's not true. I actually, there's steps. I don't care what strangers think, but I do care what my family thinks. And I care what my friends think. So put your finger down if you're a person who doesn't care and see that breaks up. Doesn't care what your family thinks. If you're a person who, no matter what your family thinks, it says you do what you do. put your finger down if you don't care what a stranger thinks. If you're a person who walks outside in like clothes you feel comfortable in, the way you feel comfortable. I'm a person who sings when I walk down the street. I'll sing to myself out loud.
See, I
You were gonna say
can't do
something?
that.
Yeah, see? There's so many
I'm
elements.
someone who cares about what other people think, which is really,
Mm.
really bad, and I know that. But I'm someone who always need validation. That's why I let
Mm.
my friends know they can't, like, when they're around me, they can't sing out loud, or it's which is really bad because you can't really be yourself. But I'm always somebody's like, you need to, like, there's a time and place for things. So if so many people are looking at you, you need to act a certain way. That's how I am, which is really, really bad because I'm never comfortable in public or around so many people. So I'm really
Mm.
reserved like that. And it's really bad. That's why I do like being around people that's different and can kind of bring out that personality out of me.
Yes.
But sometimes I get in my head a lot where I am caring too much about what people think.
Mm. See, yeah. And I would even change the language of that. It's a awareness. You're now aware of it. And now you're aware of the different pieces. You can look at what piece can I give myself to help myself feel more comfortable in my skin. Right? That it's all you. And you don't have to love yourself all at once. That is so hard. And that's such a big journey. It's okay to do pieces. Do I accept myself? Do I like how I look in this outfit? Do I choose my own clothing based on what I like or based on what other people might love or accept?
The fact that your Asia is aware of that, that's a big step.
Exactly.
So
But it's so
you're-
hard. Like, it's very easy to know something. It's very easy. But then what makes it difficult or what makes it good or bad is how you progress from there. What are you going to do to change it? Are you going to meet somebody where you feel like this is something that you don't want to be anymore? I feel like different crowds just bring out different parts of you. So there's so many people in the world. You can't act one way together with one person. It's different. Like I've met like one group of friends, I will be more reserved where I do care about what people would think, but then I actually found another group of friends where I felt like I could like dance in the street and I don't care. So I guess different groups of people just bring it out of you. But I don't want to, overall, I want to just stop caring about what people think because it does affect me personally in a negative way. So I'm teaching myself slowly, taking it day by day.
Good. Thank you, Asia. That was beautiful. I think that's with everyone because I do care, even though I say I don't, I do to a certain degree. I guess depending on people, the degree is different. But I guess to go deep inside of you, how much you want to change that part of yourself for better. I guess like Jasani said, and every day or every decision, like you have to face with your emotions at the moment, and I guess choose yourself, and everything should be coming from love, not from what others think or what others are saying. I guess I know it's difficult, I'm speaking like this, but I know it is difficult. But little by little, like Jasani said, we all have to take baby steps to progress, to evolve, towards love, I guess. Yeah.
I think an important
you,
thing
Ron?
you said,
Sorry, that's
sorry.
okay.
Important thing you said also was the people you surround yourself with, because that can also create such influence. Because there is an element of I don't care what people think, like I was saying. But in order for me to get there, I had to have people around me first to encourage me and lift me up and say, like, you're actually pretty cool. And then I realized, like, oh, because so much of my life I've heard people have so much opinions about me. But yes,
But like
the people
sometimes for me
Go ahead.
to like forget about my insecurities, I will have to remember the people you think will care so much, they're probably gonna go about their day not even thinking about you or what that situation occurred. So I'm remembering now where it's like, oh, they're not gonna remember it. So why are you making such a big deal about it? You know?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's-
So yeah, I think a lot that helps me too. Like realizing the people that I've put. That's why strangers no longer affect me as much as they do, because I realize they don't care as much as I think they care, and they don't even know me enough to even judge me. Like someone will look at me and think something about me. You don't know me enough to make a real good judgment of me. So why do I care what you think at the end of the day? That's how I operate.
Yeah.
And that's always on them. It's not your insecurity, it's always their insecurity, you know. So it's hard, but I guess that's how you have to look at it. And the more you love yourself and the more complete you feel, none of the outside chatters would matter to you so much. That's how I believe, and that's why I want to go there. So it doesn't bother me anymore, you know.
Mhm.
I'm not
How
there
about you,
yet, but
Ayata?
I think it kinds of related to the responsibility, because we should be responsible for ourselves. And if I care about too much what people think, and if we decide anything based on people's opinion, sometimes I may feel, okay, I decided this because what people think this is good or not. And eventually I feel later, okay, this is not what I wanted or something like that. And I didn't decide it because people say it's okay or it's good or it's bad. So, but so I feel like, you know, I'm, I mean, how do I say it? I'm blaming, not blaming, but
You
mm,
put it on them, like they have more power over what you decide
yeah,
than you do.
yeah, but it's not the way I should think. So I think we should be brave enough to decide ourselves based on
Take
what
more
I think is good.
control.
Mm, is
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah, I know
Uh,
what you're saying, and I think it's really, really matters what you say about the responsibility. And I know it's hard to accept ourselves because we know what we thought, we know what we did, we know what we didn't. And so I remember what kind of mistake, a big mistake I made, what kind of small mistake I made. And sometimes it hurts me, like even after 10 years, sometimes it reminds me of what I said, what I did, and some memories come back and it hurts me. And I go shrink. But everything, every day is the experience. That's how we were born. That's why we were born. We wanted to experience and we wanted to learn and we wanted to express ourselves. We wanted to love each other. And that's why we became like ourselves right now on the earth. We came back to be alive. And on earth, it's impossible to go day by day without like a communication with others or the just like it's so hard to be alone even if you believe you are alone and you don't care about yours about others, but to eat, to live, everything like if you eat the apple or the vegetables or meat or eggs or whatever you eat, someone made it. Even if your backyard has a beautiful organic vegetable like land, but still someone helping sunlight and the rain
mhm.
and the beautiful soil. and people teach you how to do it, and you communicate with the soil and the earth, and eventually, if you look up, there is a human and there is a bird. And like I said, the dogs and the cats and everyone, we communicate. Problem is that if you separate from others, you're gonna be lonely, and you separate from others. Sometimes the others gonna be enemy for yourself, and you can be enemy to them. And you don't, you are alone, lonely, or you are self. But still, you have to realize we are energy being in the energy world. So we all connected, even if you don't feel it. All connected right now, right this moment. If you smile, smile become the other energy to spread it to the world. That create this current moment, and you cannot forget it. If somebody crying, it affects us, but it might not be sadness. Sometimes we might feel the sad on this world. Somebody is crying, but it's okay. We can heal each other, and we can without knowing, if we feel like a blue sky gonna make you smile, this gonna return to the person who is sad in the moment without knowing. So you don't need to intend to do, but this is the energy world. So, if you cry, that's okay. If you're mad, that's okay. If you made a mistake, that's okay. But if you made a mistake, don't repeat. We try not to repeat, because I always said that one time is okay, mistake, two times maybe mistake, but three times it's not mistakes. And so you have to try so hard not to make same mistake. And we have to try to be better. And so do not separate yourself from others, because we are all one, even if you don't want to, even if you are not thinking about it, it's all one. But your mind can separate yourself to other from others. That's the tragedy. And I don't like the very strong attitude, like I don't care about others, I don't care what other people think, I don't care, this is me, I don't care what you say, this is me. No, we can, like, a very soft way and a joyful way, because I think a balance is very important. Your heart, what you eat, and how you live this moment is a balance, and also grounded, and be happy on this moment. You just focus on this moment, focus on yourself this moment, and this is just process to grow up. So accept yourself and face your mistake, or face what you did, the beautiful things and the good things, like admire yourself. Just don't depend on other people's words, don't depend on other people's opinions. You can hear, you can listen, and it's good, it's beautiful to communicate and sharing. I love sharing. Like now we are sharing our experience to you, our thoughts to you, and we share. Everybody has a different opinions, everybody has a different experience. That's beautiful. We can share in a different ways. So we communicate to ourselves first, we communicate to self, we communicate your feeling, you communicate your face, like a moment, feel this moment. Then you realize you connected to everyone in this world. Then you can say, I love myself. I'm trying to accept myself. How about you? I love you. Let's accept and let's make the beautiful world. And that's the Valentine's Day. We can express our love to others. But first, you express your love, acceptance, and the forgiveness to yourself. That's important. That's what we are saying. No,
I think
thank you.
it's so beautiful, and I think the way you view the world of Setsu is so like broader, the perspective is so not like me, like narrow, so broader. So I think yeah, I think I feel like everyone can learn from you. And but I was just thinking to myself, if you do what Setsu said, like accept yourself, forgive yourself, love yourself, it's so strange, not strange, but this is how it is. But you start to love others more naturally, and what others doing, like just simple things like with other people's smile make you feel much happier. And I think that synchronization happens when you love yourself right. So I think that was something that realized myself that was amazing, and that I think it's a oneness. So that's something I wanted to add on to what Setsu said.
And sometimes you can have like, you would think your insecurities and the things that you're unsure about yourself, you think you're alone. And then when you have these type of discussions with other people, you realize other people are feeling and thinking the exact same way you are. So instead of you being alone, you have 50 million people that feels the exact same way. So you got to realize a lot of your thinking are not abnormal. You can't think you're weird or you're different because so many other people are thinking the exact same way and they can't communicate that. So you think you're alone. So that's a really important thing to remember, that you just gotta like, don't be afraid to just talk, because talking or just at least saying it out loud, you'll realize, oh, why am I thinking this way? Or something like that.
Yeah, and it's funny because then people would do is they would react to someone else rather than speaking about it. And I've heard it said it was using your weapon and not your wound, like talking to someone or communicating with someone through your weapon, your wound. So if you communicate through your wound, you would reveal like, yeah, it makes me uncomfortable when you talk about my clothes and mention like they look this way. That's talking from your wound. And the person's like, oh, I was just trying to help you. I didn't know that was affecting you. Or they're like, I'm sorry, I do that to myself because I feel the same way. Talking from your weapon is more like, how dare you talk to me like that? How could you? And then attacking. And I feel like that uncomfortability with yourself and with whatever is going on with yourself causes you to, instead of set a boundary or speak to vulnerability, because I feel like vulnerability is such a strong thing to do, and it's worth so much on how you feel about yourself. Because how I've heard vulnerability is a boundary of yours is coming up, and it's a time for you to express it. But instead, what we do is we may shell because we think no one relates to us, or we attack because we feel like this thing about ourselves and we feel like this person just came for me. So let me attack verbally or otherwise. So yeah, that plays it. Yeah, I also love what you go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say I love what you said also, because I feel like it what it hits on is we a lot of time look at other people and how they view us as something like the world, like I'm weird or different, or the world is against me. But a lot of the time it is a reflection of what we feel about ourselves or how we think about ourselves and reacting to that. And with a different view and relationship that you build with yourself and where you view yourself, actually the different people, because energy beings, also different people come around. You also have different people who show up and talk to you differently because you're talking to yourself differently. So it's just so interconnected with, like you were saying, energy beings and us being energy beings and all connected to each other, how the energy flows. And when people match that energy, they flow in, they come in. And even when your energy changes, you'll lose friendships and people will flow out. And that's okay, because people who fit the energy you are now will flow in. And like accepting that movement to like to do.
Yeah, it's like mirror, I feel, no? Like it's like you said, it's a reflection, it's a mirror. So if I get the wrong reaction, I have to watch myself too. maybe I am exposing, or I am, you know, transmitting that energy of, you know, strong negative energy or something like that. So I look at people around me as a mirror more often than before. You know, I think that's why when you feel more loved or confident or whatever, that's when I get the reaction back from others as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I would even
Yeah,
say
it's
if
like,
you,
okay, go ahead. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I was gonna say if you're surrounded by people who like make fun of you, I would
Mhm.
look at how do I make fun of myself? Do I allow people to make fun of me? Do I accept people like beating me down? That kind of mirror. Guess that's what you're gonna say.
Nothing is coincidence. Like you said, or the now said, I just said, you know, I was living in the New York City for many years, many years. I love Manhattan. I love New York City. But you can see clearly what you are, what you're thinking, what kind of energy you have that moment. Like for instance, you go to the subway and it's so crowded, especially in the morning when you go to work or school. And if you something happened in the house before you left the home to go to somewhere else, and something bad happened, you are irritated or you are mad to your family or the friends or the boyfriend, the girlfriend, or whoever, and or alone, you are upset. And you went to the station, you were still upset. You feel a little bit different, but still upset. And the anger or the upset things here. And you go to the subway, and there are so many people, but there are other people who has anger or who has irritation, who has upsetting inside. And it's like, what do you call that? Dishak ってなんていうの? I'm sorry.
Magnet? Magnet?
Magnet. It's
Yeah.
like magnet. So negative energy and negative energy, even if you don't know that person, it like connect to each other. And the negative doesn't become like this, and then the energy being it become like this. So now say it's like a mirror, and it's like a mirror in front of you. You see yourself. You see what kind of feeling you have. That's why a lot of times in the subway, so crowded subway in New York City, and suddenly in the early morning, a lot of places and a lot of cars, there are arguments like don't push me or something like that. And if you see it, they are strangers. But I can see the energy, and she was irritated before she left home. He had something with the girlfriend issues before he left home, and they were in individual became the strangers came to the in the same car of the subway. Then something touched or the somebody pushed, and you just saw somebody's eyes in coincidence, and then what you looking at, and they start the arguments because you are you wanted to argue, you wanted to show, you wanted to express your anger or irritation or upsetting. That's why whoever whatever you are waiting for the chance to explore. And that is the energy world that so everybody, even not two people who are arguing, everybody feels so like uncomfortable, upsetting. And but that's how we see as a mirror in front of you, someone there. Sometimes it's a teacher, someone you have to learn from his or her attitudes, their attitude. And because nothing happens for no reason. You have to learn something, or you see yourself, you see some of your past, or you see your parents, and where it came from. Nothing happened coincidence. So if you smile, it, even if it's a stranger, sometimes it gives a hope to someone, and somebody might try to end their lives, and you walk yourself, you pass, and if you say good morning or just smile or wave your hands, and it might change his moment or her moment who was trying to end their lives, or sometimes they are so sad, they are so down, it can't help. And sometimes, nothing. Sometimes it's easy, just hug them or the not strangers, and sometimes it's going to be a big problem. But if you're friends or family, and maybe in among the family, maybe the hardest thing to hug or smile or to shake hands or touch, and or speak up, open up. It might be the hardest one among the family, but still, if you can, if you could hug, and it's sometimes help much more than words. But if you can't, you can hug themselves in your mind, in your heart, but you have to hug yourself first. But believe or not, I was the one who was not able to accept myself. I was the only child, and so I had a hard time in the childhood about um like be same with others or to be accepted from others. And for a long time, I denied myself of what I am, what I was, and I accepted myself. It took a long time, and that's why I can speak like this, because I was lonely, because I was just nobody else. And I want to be with others and love each other, like be liked. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to be loved, and I wanted to love myself, but I didn't know what is to love myself. I didn't know how. I didn't know that things because nobody told me. But sooner or later, you're gonna face the moment that you have to face yourself, and you have to accept yourself, and you have to like yourself. You have to hug yourself, and that's the thing. If you're alone, don't worry. On the Valentine's Day, I want you to hug yourself because it's important. And if you have something difficult time, and if you're hurt by others, you can be alone in your room or the park or somewhere or the balcony or patio or the beach, you know, then be yourself. It's okay to be alone, and just look at the blue sky or skies, the stars, moons, and the snow. It was snowing last night and this morning, and the rain. Just listen to the rain. Be alone, and like I said earlier, be in the moment, and you will realize you are alive and how special it is, how blessed you are because you have a moment, and you can go to the right, front, back, and the left. You can choose because this is a choice of yours, and just be there because you can. If you face on this moment, if you are in this moment, you will realize how blessed you are just because you have life. And that moment, you will realize someday, even if you cannot do today, someday you will realize this moment is everything. This moment is a blessing time. And this moment, you are alive and this is you. This is what you are. And from here, you can go forward and just love, like I said, do not forget your love and you're loved. It's true, even if you don't feel it, but it's true. Don't forget it. Be in this moment, and you're going to realize how blessed you are this moment. That's all I could say because I had a painful past. Believe it or not, I had painful past. That's why. Since I was like not me, but maybe a lot of people have the problem with the relationship with the parents. And what kind of parents you had, what kind of words you heard every day from your parents or the grandparents or the uncles and aunts or brothers and sisters. So how you were raised, how you grew up is very important, as you know. So it's a different kind of times, different kind of words you heard, different kind of emotion you were surrounded by, and it affects you. But you can overcome, and you can know that day by day you will know it was not everything. So don't give up.
Yeah, I agree. And I think through my painful past as well, it's where you make the choices. I think sometimes it's part of life. Just being uncomfortable, going through these situations is part of life. But there comes a point where you make a choice, like you were saying, front, left, back, or side, make a choice. Am I going to blame everyone else or be upset or let it overtake me? Or do I want to feel differently? Do I want to feel differently? Do I want to have a better life? And what does that look like? And how does that look like? And then you start exploring like what you want and the things you enjoy and the things you like about yourself and strengths. And you start finding these things about yourself in order to know how to take care of yourself, how to love yourself, how to see yourself, and also building that new relationship. So maybe what do you do? What did you guys do in those points, those low points, to rebuild yourself or to look at yourself differently and find yourself? Is there any tactics you guys have or tips?
I think for me, I think it was just the biggest thing that I didn't do to myself was to ignore myself. Like I didn't even care how I feel. I was always, I guess, care about what other people's emotions and that affect me to the big deal. So to overcome it, I just had to like really every single almost second, I had to watch how I feel, what the current emotions are. And I revealed myself how much I didn't care. I didn't take care of myself. And, obviously, if I don't have a love for myself, and no one's going to love me the way I want others to love me, being to reciprocate, you know? So I think I just started analyzing myself, who I am, from long time Setsu told me I don't know who I am. And for sure, I didn't know myself at all. I thought I was who I was, but that's not the person that I was, like a soul level. And I'm sure I don't know myself to the fullest yet, but little by little, I accept this is not who I am, who I think I am. My true self is more powerful, more loving, bigger than myself, bigger than, anything. So to accept it, at the same time, watch yourself, watch how you think, how I talk to myself, how I care about myself as far as feeling goes. That's what I did. So analyzation of myself, acceptance of, this is not who you are. You are much bigger than you think you are. You're much lovable. You think you are. So that's my process, and I'm still in the process. And I'm looking forward to who I become, or I guess who I return to, the true self. Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yay.
Yes.
For me, it was like, because I'm still young. I'm very young. I'm 23. So it's like my whole life, well, during childhood, I felt like I had to have the most friends. I always had to do something my age. And I felt like I did do that before the age of 16. So now in my 20s, I realized you don't need so many people in your life to either have fun or have validation for yourself. I learned more independence. So now I'm really content with being by myself, staying home, just like walking. I don't do it, but like if you guys do it, like you walk in a park by yourself, you start exercising, you go on a diet, you realize that some diets it's not something that you need. because your body weight is what is healthy enough for you, you know? And you have that social media where it's like you need to look a certain way to love yourself or to have other people love you. And that's really not the case because everybody's into different things. You don't always have to look the same because it's like perfect is never perfect. You know, there's some people that's always gonna find one thing about themselves that they're gonna want to change that another person might find perfect. So you just gotta realize you don't need so many people in your life to validate yourself. Take a time for yourself, realize what you need and what you want for yourself, you know, and other people, that's a plus. To have friends, that's a plus. To go out, go to bars, date around, that's always a plus. But in order to do that, you need to realize yourself.
Go, AJ.
Well
Go, AJ.
said.
Yay, well done. Good job. I want to know who is your mom.
Okay, so I'm still learning how to love myself, and I really loved when Setsu said, "Hug yourself." And I was gonna ask you guys one question. Like everyone say, love yourself first before you love somebody else. And I understand what it says, but I never felt I understood well enough of what they are saying. So I was gonna ask you guys that today, but I think before earlier, Setsu explained everyone is connected as an energy, and you explained a little bit about oneness. And when you said hug yourself, I think it touched my heart, and I think I understood a little more about, you know, love yourself first before. Now I can't explain why. I can't explain well enough, but I think, and another important thing is to express love to express love to others, or to let them know that you love them is the key to achieve oneness, maybe. How do I say? I can't explain that, but I now understood that, you know, a lot of people don't really say why it's important to love yourself first, because it cannot be explained with words, maybe.
I can
Sometimes
try.
you just gotta do it.
Yeah, try to do it. Yes.
Yeah, how I see it is actually something I'm learning recently. Because I had a friend stay with me, and what I learned is sometimes, especially with even me, I go into emotional places where I don't even know what's happening to me. I don't even know what's happening. And I realize sometimes loving yourself, if you love someone else, is based on communication and learning how to communicate what you need, what you want, what's happening to you, setting boundaries. Because I learned going into loving someone else without knowing how to set boundaries, someone will literally just run amok. They'll just do whatever they want, and you have to follow them, and you have to do what they do. And then you're miserable. And you don't know how to communicate that you're miserable, that what someone else is doing is hurting you, because you haven't love yourself or taking that step within yourself to understand what feeds you more. For instance, for me, I like a partner that understands freedom and lets me have freedom, but also in some points that I love closeness, I also love separation as well. I love to be close with someone, but I also love to have like a moment where I'm just by myself for like a few days. And because I love myself enough to discover that with myself, I can have a better relationship and communication with someone and have my partner understand this is how you love. Because if you don't know how to love you and communicate how to love you, you're just gonna be basically learning how to love somebody else and doing stuff to appreciate and love somebody else. And then you feel unloved, you feel miserable, you feel unhappy, you don't know how to say it. So I think in the way of saying love someone, you can't love someone else unless you love yourself is a way of saying you won't be in the healthy, happy relationship that you want if you have no idea what you want, how to communicate what you want, or understand what fits well with you and what works with you and what doesn't. So then you'll just be walking around, being pushed and pulled everywhere, not knowing what's happening. Yeah.
Because it's like,
Sorry.
are you happy with somebody saying that you're beautiful? Are you someone that needs gift giving or to validate your feelings
Mhm.
for someone? There's different love attractions. So mine would be physical touch. I'm someone that just needs to like hold hands, you touching my shoulders, you hug me. That's how I feel really appreciated and I feel really loved. For some people, it's gift giving. To some people, it's like
Words
helping
of
them around the
affirmations.
house. There's
Mhm.
so many different ways. So you gotta realize what do you expect for yourself?
Mm.
Do you like holding hands? Do you like gift giving? Do you just like helping around you guys' environments?
Mm.
So once you know that, then you're like, okay, now I know what to expect from somebody else. And you get that equal, like Chisani said.
Period. I agree.
Yeah.
Simple
But
way, like it's not easy. It's easy to say, but I know it's not easy to accept ourselves or love ourselves, and it's not easy at all. A lot of times you don't know what that means, like Ayako said, we really don't know what starts, like Jasani said that earlier too. So but I think simple thing is that be honest to yourself. But a lot of people don't know how we feel, how you feel, how he feels, how I feel. Even that you don't know because you lie to yourself a lot of times or you listen to other people so much, especially on the SNS or the screen, But listen to your heart. That's the most important thing. But sometimes listen to your heart is tricky too because there are your heart feeling something, but it's from your past experiences. So how you feel sometimes is wrong. Not I cannot say wrong, but it's based from the painful situation or the uncomfortable situation. So how you feel is maybe sometimes trick you. So that I want to say a simple thing is to love ourselves is be kind to yourself. Be kind what you are. Be kind at this moment. Be kind to what you're saying, Just listen and be kind to others. So kindness is important. So that's the simple thing. And if you think this is kindness, just try, but be kind to yourself and be kind to others. That's what important, I believe.
So that's why I think when you said hug yourself, it touched my heart because hugging is, maybe stems from kindness. So yeah, that makes sense to me.
How I want to ask a question. How can you tell the difference between that a trigger that's from the past and something that's happening now, like you said? How can you, is there a way that you can tell the difference between if you know like something's coming up is not because of this moment, but because of something happened before that may have triggered you? Any of you? Anybody?
Yeah. I think everybody has triggers for real without knowing,
Yeah.
and you overreacted sometimes, even if you don't say anything. A lot of say, A lot of people say too much because you overreacted, but it's a trigger. You have to know, and you have to know it comes from. But you know, yeah, that
I think
experience that you never forget, or even if you thought you forgot, but the moments come back and it become trigger,
Mhm.
and you have to deal with it. Be kind.
I think also Setsu told me when I experienced that, you know, because I'm terrible in when it comes to romantic relationship with setting boundaries and be honest with my feelings. So that goes out the door. Like who I am, like when I'm by myself, I'm like I'm know myself, like I know what I like, I know what I want, but that goes out the window. So when that happens, said to Tommy to check with your ego, because if it comes from ego, that's probably triggered, because the ego is usually attached to your old self, or wrong habits, or from the past experience that's stored in your head and body, that's how you should react when this happens. So I think, if it's ego driven, I guess that's the trigger, I guess.
In what ways can you recognize the ego?
The
I
ego.
would ask. Yeah. How can you tell which one is?
I think like in this certain situation that I went through in a romantic relationship, I think if it was like attachment, if it's an attachment, whether it's an attachment, whether it's, like trying to fulfill something lacking in myself, I guess I don't know how exactly to say it in words, but
Mhm.
yeah, like if it's an attachment, if it's an fulfillment outside of validation of kind of fulfillment, if it's coming from lacking something,
Mm.
I guess I could say that it's coming from ego. I
From
don't
like
know
a
if that makes sense.
scarcity.
Yeah,
Scarcity
scarcity
mentality.
mindset. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
That makes sense. Like, so
yeah.
it's like something in you feel is missing or lacking. You need to fill it with that. That
Mhm.
person has the answer. That person has what I need, and they need to fill it, or they hate me, or they don't like me, or they're mean, and all these things.
Right, right. So I think that all that becomes desperation. So when you feel that, I think it's definitely ego driven. Yeah,
Yeah, why people desperate? Why you are desperate?
yeah.
Desperate. It's simple because you want to be filled that
Mhm.
where you believe you are lack of it, and you have to realize someday that you are not lack of anything,
Anything.
and you don't you don't need to be try. I mean, you don't need to try to be perfect because you are perfect by yourself right now. But we all know we are not perfect, so it's kind of tricky, or
Yeah.
you know. But ego is the worst enemy of yourself, and so yourself is the worst enemy. And but you have to realize that ego comes from the painful situation, or ego comes from your wrong belief. And so the worst case to be driven by your ego. Your own ego is that you keep saying, no, I am this. No, I didn't say that. No, this is me. No, this is me. You don't want to listen because, like I said, you might not know yourself like well, but the people might see your beauty, your kindness, your good points, but you don't want to hear. No, I am this. No, I am that. No, I don't want to try this. No, I cannot do this. And you just, make decisions so quickly and just You don't want to change. You don't want to hear. You have to
Mm.
open your heart. You have to open your ears. You have to open your mind. Empty your mind. Listen sometimes, and listen to your heart. But sometimes your heart and your mind and might be different, and you have to know deep inside, which is your soul, what your soul is saying, what the angel is saying from the above, what's the sunlight, what's the moon saying, what's the wind or breeze saying. You have to be calm, relax, calm, breathe deep, and just listen, not the other people words, not that your ego words, your ego mind. You don't need to listen sometimes. Be quiet. And so I love when trigger happens or ego things happen, like the sannyas, that I just open the window, I open the door and go to the balcony or go to the outside and just feel the air outside. And it means I come out from myself, I come out from the dark moment, I come out from the air is stuffed, and like I cannot breathe. So
Mm.
I open the window, I open the door, and I just go to the outside. And then you come back to yourself, and you come back to the center. But especially love relationship, you expect the other without knowing, well, with knowing, it doesn't matter, but you expect too much. And you expect for fill up, for you think that you have a hole, you lack of something, you need just to be circle, to be round, to be perfect heart. You need this part because I'm not perfect. And I'm like this triangle shape. I have a hole. I need someone to fill this triangle or to just crack. And no, it's just disbelief, and it's just like an ego telling yourself you're not perfect, you're not circle, you're not hard. You're hard. You don't have crack is fine. Like I have lines on my face and down balance and white hair. It's okay. And even if you made a mistake, it's okay. But the relationship, you cannot expect without telling anything, without discussing, without communicating. So that you don't need to get from what to be, given from the loved one or your partner to fill your crack, to fill what you don't have. That's the most dangerous thing in the relationship. And maybe sometimes it's also friendships too. You want to be filled what you believe that you don't have from others, and you expect the person who that he or she or they gonna give you to fill what you need. So that's the dangerous and a very wrong mistake. We shouldn't do that. We have to know crack is a beautiful crack sometimes, and it's okay. But including crack, you are perfect in this moment. You just grow up, and the perfectness becomes shinier and beautiful and more bright light. So it's just perfect from the first floor, second floor, third floor, 10th floor, 20th floor, 30th floor. And you just go up. That's the grown up. And maybe sometimes, we call that dimension gonna change to the, other world.
Mhm.
Then you see different world, different you, different friends, different partner. Because you grow up and we're gonna attract that same level or better level. And then you see the difference, even if you live in the same place, even if you live in the same house, even if you work in the same job, but still you see the difference because you grow up, and you don't need to be filled by other, who especially from your partner. And it's like if your partner expect us to fill someone's need, and we don't know what he needs, we don't know what she needs, and we don't know why he or she or they upsetting, because I cannot give what they want. But it's not love at all there. You know, there is no love. There is only desperation, needs, ego, and unbalance and disbelief about yourself. So relationship is not like that. So don't expect. If you don't expect, and if your partner do something beautiful, the kindness thing, and you're gonna be so happy, you know, you don't need to be disappointed because just because you didn't get what you want. So don't expect.
Yeah,
'Cause sometimes the
expectation.
things that you think you will like, you'll meet somebody and be like, oh wait, I didn't expect this, but I do like this, you know? So used to
Mm.
one thing, there's so many people with different personalities, you're gonna find more things to like. You know, age really doesn't matter, time doesn't matter, because you set yourself a goal for a certain age to do certain things. You may not meet that goal at that age. You keep living, you do different things every day, you learn more about yourself and learn more about different people. So I think that's more good. Always step out of your comfort zone. It's hard, but you just gotta step out of your comfort zone, and you meet new expectations, and you learn new things that you would like about yourself and what you would like to see in other people.
Mhm.
Hmm. I have a question, Asia. Um, how has today's social media influenced the way I want to see yourself, but also expect things from other people? How does it influence the way you operate and how you see other people as well as yourself?
For me, it's of course it's more like sizes and body weight. So I'm on more like look bigger side, more like thicker side. Some people
Big,
would
thick.
call it differently.
Hmm.
So you have social media where you have like the beautiful models and you have the certain type of body weight that people would say, oh, this is what you need. This is a healthy weight and that you need to be in.
Mm.
And then you have advertisement where they're trying to help you achieve your weight goal, but they're using like people who's not obese. A lot of these advertisement, they will consider you obese so that you can buy their products when really you're not. You're a healthy weight. You just want to target a certain area.
Mhm.
So it's really, and then it's more important to see like Victoria's Secret or different lingerie are using plus size women in their advertisements. I think that's really, really good because now you're seeing these are bigger girls, they're beautiful too. Let's extend, let's extend our sizes because truthfully, a lot of bigger girls with so much weight and diet, they still can't lose that weight. It is not because they're lazy or they don't have the right resource. It's just that's how life is, you know? So
Mhm.
how to change your mindset is just accept it, you know? There's so many different aspects where it's like you are still beautiful no matter how you look and compared to other people. Because there are people that where the society they call it a healthy weight and this is how you're supposed to look. And even them, they still see issues with their body. You know,
Mhm.
so you can't look at someone that's a skinny or healthy and then they think they're perfect because really they're not. They don't believe that they're perfect either. So they will see a bigger girl and say, oh, this is what I want to look like. I want to have bigger breasts, I want to have a bigger bum. There's so many different things. Nobody's perfect. And
Mhm.
with social media, it's really bad. But it's also, I think, especially with TikTok, I think TikTok is very educational because there's so many different comments about their opinions and how others may feel. So I think they're showing that bigger girls are now healthy. And it's not about the way you look, it's about the way you feel.
Mhm.
That's what it is. So social media has a pro and cons to it. So I think more in time it is getting better because people are more they're speaking out more. They don't have to hide in the closet. They're not they're not thinking about what their family and how the family grew up is affecting them. They're learning day by day about what they accept for themselves.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that answer. I feel like even in Greek, past in the Greek, when you were thicker, it meant you were rich. It means you ate well. That means you had good food. It means that you're more valuable. And it's interesting. I feel like, especially in the past, now, thankfully, nowadays, more people are more upfront. But I feel like in the past, there was not a lot of voices around people who preferred someone thicker and juicy because, and there's people, I don't remember the actor's name. Um, I want to say Seth Rogen, but I don't think it's him. But there's an actor who literally lost weight. He was a thicker guy. He lost weight and he got skinny and he looked creepy. Like to me, he just looked creepy because it was like you said, some people are more, everyone's built differently. Your body's built differently. Like for me, if I don't take care of my weight, I actually get smaller and skinnier. So where skinny is it, for me, skinny is unhealthy. Because when I get thin and skinny, it means I'm not taking care of myself. When I actually get thicker, I feel more healthy. I feel good. I feel more, I love my body more. So yeah, I think the lack of voices really created something social media. But nowadays, TikTok, it's very opinionated, and they have so much channels that there's so many options.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Yeah. Anything else? I also had a thing to talk about willing to understand because when you were saying Setsu, but expectations, I feel like a lot of these things are everyone's willing to understand. Everyone wants someone else to understand them and are willing to understand others and expect others to get to know them as they get to know someone else. But it's interesting how little we get to know ourselves and how little we want to understand ourselves, like we want to understand others and get to know someone, have somebody love us. And we don't do, there's like a need there, like we were saying, that's where the ego pops in, because there's a need there that you have. And instead of seeing how I can fill it up, how can I feel seen or loved or appreciated, we look for someone else to do it, and then the ego comes in that says like, you don't have it, you don't have it in you at all, you have to get it from someone else, when there's an option that we never ask ourselves, like how do I feel touched? Like physical touch is also my love language, so I'll go and I'll get a massage, or even I'll like hug myself, like you were saying earlier. I'll just give myself some touches and I feel good about it. And I mean, I want to say do it in public. Maybe in public, you might look a little crazy doing this, but when I'm by myself, just do this and it feels good. Yeah. I don't know what you guys do so yeah, what do you guys do if you feeling low to bring yourself back up? At different ways you love on yourself to feel loved.
Like
Feel a
you
little
say, I think when is the last time you hugged yourself? We don't do it. We rarely do it. So, you amazing, you doing it. So even like this, when we did it to myself, when I did it, I didn't. I have to do it, but I do know one thing is I accepted, and I have natural perm, and it was so different from others in Japan. I was born in Japan, and my mom's side has different country blood, so DNA test to show me that I'm not 100% Japanese. So it's obvious from my grandpa, but still, this was too different, and a lot of people believe that I permed. I didn't. This is a natural perm. I was born like this. Being different was so difficult, and being different is okay, but you have to accept it naturally in a healthier way and be comfortable. That's all. That you have to accept the difference from others, And so hug yourself. It's like I want to ask everyone, when did you do it? When's the last time you did it, or have you ever did it? Did you hug yourself? Like Jasani, it's hard. I never did it when I was little. I
You
never
can do
did
it
when I
now.
was young. Yeah, I can do it. We can do it. You can do it. Hug yourself. Asia, do it. Sometimes I can do it.
Love yourself.
Yeah, do it. Because you are ego. Stop yourself. No, I cannot do it, or I don't do it. You guys do it. I don't do it. But be open. Like
Mhm.
relax. Nobody judge you. Just hug yourself. That's all you do. Be kind to yourself, and then you can be kind to others. So express love. How about express love? How you express love to others?
How I express it, I try to do is I've actually asked people like, how can I love you better? How can I support you? And that's a good question. I ask people how I can support them because I'm a person who also feel sometimes my ego comes up when I feel like lack of support or unsupported, my ego will come up. So instead of blaming others and saying no one supports me, no one cares about me, I'm practicing. Am I showing up for others? Am I supporting others or even myself? So I'll ask people, how can I support you? How can I help? So I express my love.
Fayako.
Okay. Well, let's say like to say I love you or I like you is too straightforward. I think that's the one of the way to express love. But recently I realized that if you see some beautiful scenery or like blue sky or very beautiful sunset, sunrise, you you take the photo of it and you feel like you want to share it with someone else, maybe to your friend or to the someone you love. I think that's sharing your favorite thing or something good.
Yeah.
That's another thing, the way to express love, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, you share the moment as a
Oh, yes.
picture, that's a beautiful thing. And express love, express love is the sharing. And I think the relationship, any relationship, important thing is communication. So for the communication, you have to open up your throat chakra, which is fifth chakra here, which is color is the blue sky blue. And Asia wearing the jeans, it's like that, sky blue. And here is the energy point, which is fifth chakra. And you have to open up. And to cleanse this chakra, energy point is, like I said, you have to be kind to yourself, open up yourself. Because a lot of people, maybe everybody, judge yourself and just harsh words. Why you do this? Why you did that? Why you said that? Why you didn't do this? So without knowing or with knowing, you attack yourself, you judge yourself. So we don't do that. Be kind and accept and forgive, and just listen. I think communication, in the communication, important thing is listening. So express love for me is listen to others. And that's my love. That's express love. Also, another thing is that I was working in the World Trade Center in New York City when attack happened September 11. And miraculously, my office, our office was on the 90th floor in the North Tower, which was attacked first. And um, universe helped me to be still alive right here for my children, for myself. And that moment I learned, and I told my children, they were still young, like 2 years old and 4 years old. I told them, you don't know what is going to happen next moment or next day. So every morning, when you go to the school, when you go to work, when you go outside, we go to the door, say how, say goodbye, have a good day, or the bye, and hug each other. And still now we keep doing it. And because you don't know when it's going to be the last, and you don't want to regret. So express love. I love you. Just a hug, or touch his back or her back, or touch yourself and hug yourself like this. It's important because you don't know what's going to happen next moment. Even you are in the home, if you go outside, you don't know what's going to happen. So I said, if you had a fight or the argument in the day before, the night before, next morning, I'm not saying forget it, but just try to have new day, and don't just carry the same arguments or same anger, same this agreement, But you can say good morning and have a good day, or even if your words didn't come out, that's okay. Go to the I'm sorry, go to the door and say bye, hug, that's all, or smile. It's okay. And that I told my kids, and my children expect, like, when they go to work, they go to the school, mom, and they're waiting for me at the door if I don't go. And okay, and I run and hug and say bye, have a good day. And so they were waiting for me, and I love it. I love it. So I didn't regret what I told my kids. That's what I learned from the September 11 attack. For the lives, a lot of lives who lost and who went to the heaven before us, and for the families who lost loved ones. That's what I could do as a survivor, to express love. So we can do to the partner to or the parents too, you know. Asia, how you
Express love.
express your love?
Um,
Phone call
for me,
all the time.
it's communicating. So when I was younger, I was never someone that could communicate. I was always someone that held in my feelings. But college, I met a group of friends where they were very expressive with how they felt. So I learned
Mm.
from them, and every single friends I've had was kind of similar. So it was easier to get better at it and practice. So I'm always since little, I was always the youngest one out of my friends group, but I'm always end up being the mom in the friends group. So I'm
Mhm.
always the one that's taking control, making sure when we go out, everybody's together. I'm always the mom in the group. So whenever they do something really good or they do something bad, I'm always the one that be like, oh, good job, or next, or I will never always be on your side. So I
Mm.
always look at both sides. So if you're wrong, I'm gonna tell you you're wrong, but I'm gonna let you know. Like I'm gonna explain so you can see and have your own opinion about it. So I'm very communicative like that, where I'm always gonna text them or let them express how they feel. That's how I express
Mm.
it with the people around me. I like to communicate now. And I'm with doing that is practicing for myself because that was never my strong suit. So I like being around people that can talk it out and just learn from one another.
Love that.
I
Love
want to
that.
add my experience. I'm sorry. I learned a lot from my husband, and he doesn't hesitate at all to show his love on me and to me. And soon after he woke up, even if he doesn't have glasses to see well, but then he said, uh, why are you so cute? Every morning he said that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you look good on the pajama. You are the best girl who is in the pajama or something like that. So it makes me laugh. And, if sometimes annoying, but with love, and it's okay, but I feel love. And he's so free to express love. I appreciate that, because imagine that, like September, I said, one day you might lose it, you know.
Mm.
You get used to it, but we shouldn't get used to it too much because how precious it is, the small word or the everyday things. And I really appreciate my husband because if I lose the word in the morning, sorry.
Mhm.
So
Right.
yeah, I love my husband. Thank you, Ronnie.
Yeah. Thank you,
And my
Rodney.
kids, my staff, everything, my friend like you, Jasani, and important friends. They
Yeah.
never hesitate to show the love. I really appreciate it. That's important. Like we don't need a wall. We don't need to hesitate. And when you can, you show your love. You say, you hug, you touch. You know, that's important.
How do you guys
Very
express
good.
love?
I don't know. I guess to one smile. That's something I learned. I used to hate my smile. I really did.
Me too.
Really? I hate
Oh,
looking
yeah.
at myself in
Yeah.
mirrors and when I smile, I hated it. So I try not to smile. That was my practice before because I thought my
Wow.
smile on me was so ugly.
Same.
That's what I believed. So I tried not to smile, even if I want to smile. But now, smile just like it's so like affectious, like so you can transmit so much love to so many people, even to strangers. So, and I loved how just the exchange of smiles does. It's sometimes more than words. So I love
Mm.
that. And I started liking smiling more, and just the feelings that comes with the smile, I started loving it. So I think one of the love expression is smile. Yeah. And I do it to myself too in a mirror too. Like I smile.
Mm.
Like I look cute.
That's what I cannot do. I don't check myself on the mirror. Maybe one time when I took shower. After I took shower, one time. So maybe to check yourself and so too much, maybe give you the time like now said that I don't like my smile or something like that. So I don't check myself. Then maybe that's why I can laugh out loud or I can smile maybe. So to check yourself too much, like sometimes lead to compare to others or something like that. Or so, maybe sometimes forget about it. Just smile or laugh whenever you want to do. Be
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
Because you're beautiful when you smile. I feel better when you smile. So,
I think we've said a lot. I think,
You said a lot.
yeah.
So this Valentine's Day 2023, let's express your love to the loved ones or loved one. But first, express your love and the kindness to yourself. Let's do that together. Can you promise? Can you promise, Ayako, Jasani, Asia now? Can you promise
Yes.
do that?
Yes.
Promise is promise.
Pinky promise.
Yes,
Yes.
promise. Yes. So, like behind us, I don't know you guys realize that each one of us wearing something red today.
Yes.
And I have
And
a
I
red lipstick
and red
too.
heart.
Red heart and red cup my friend gave me. Thank you so much.
We're all
Red
Valentine'd
clothes.
up.
Yes, Valentine
Yes.
mood. And look at the behind, which is beautiful heart is spreading. So let's express our love to ourselves first and to others. Don't hesitate.
Mhm.
That's a beautiful thing. You smile,
Nice.
that's the love, but smile to yourself first. Right?
That's nice. Yes.
Yes. And just saying your
Yes.
tooth is really cute. and that's a charm point. So,
Oh yeah, I love it.
hmm
I love this
Yeah.
because it's a hummingbird. So it's like the hummingbird for the flowers.
Hummingbirds.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. With the
Nice.
red. Mhm.
hmm
I
And-
hope like we inspired or we encouraged or spread love to all the listeners.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
or
you
break
know,
down your wall to others or to
mm,
yourself. You don't need a wall, break it. Bye bye wall, because
Yeah.
we are connected to each other. We are one. We are oneness. That's a beautiful thing on this earth.
yeah. And I hope we all can um express ourselves, to love ourselves, others with open heart, and whenever we are like that, when it's tough, we can help each other to lift ourselves up.
Mhm.
So,
Hug yourself.
and hug ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
And stop living by other people's standards. Live by your own
Right.
standards.
True. And
Take
set
time for
boundaries.
yourself.
Be
Yeah,
kinder
don't
for
stop
yourself.
Be kind.
Yes.
So,
Mm.
Thank you for
that was
listening.
beautiful, Sherry.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you for
Yes.
listening. Thank you for being there with us. Thank you. We love you. Mwah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a happy Valentine's
Valentine's
Day.
Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Bye.
Happy
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Thank you,
Love
Angel. Thank you,
you.
Desani. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Ayako.
Thank you,
Mel. Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Love
you.
you all.
Love you.
I love you all. Bye bye. Thank you. See you
Bye.
again. Bye.